Hi guys, welcome! In the upcoming patch update, another round of skill adjustments and balance tweaks will be introduced that will shake the meta. And in this video, we'll focus on the changes affecting the Hunter, Knight, Monk, Ninja, and Rogue jobs. These classes are not so popular in the current meta due to a variety of issues such as lack of damage or challenging gameplay. Hopefully, these changes can bring up the usage rate of these classes in both PvE and PvP. Alright, without further ado, let's begin. Let's take a look at the buffs for the Hunter class. First, the Star's Guardian buff skill has an additional effect wherein it can now trigger Comet Trap every 2 seconds on all enemies within 7 meters. Comet Trap deals neutral magic damage and can stun enemies for 4 seconds. And second, the Craftsman rune has a new third-line effect that grants the ability to actively eliminate up to 3 traps on Minefield skill description page. The duration probability for this line is 100% and all existing runes will directly activate this effect. This new third line allows Stellar Hunters to prioritize traps that aligns most with their strategic needs. As an example, if our goal is to boost Minefield's damage output, we can now opt to exclude Ankle Snare, Frost Trap, and Claymore Trap since these traps have the lowest skill multipliers. Consequently, casting Minefield will now only deploy Comet Trap, Electric Shock, and Landmine. These two buffs will undoubtedly improve the gaming experience for Trapper build Stellar Hunters. Up next, let's dive into the buffs for the Knight class. First, Abyss Arrival has a new optional effect of converting Rune Master's own attack element into Dark. Heavens, which is a primary weapon of AARM, is of Holy Element, which is weak against targets equipped with Angeling Star card. Hence, this adjustment will allow AARM to deal higher damage against targets with Holy Armor without the need to switch to Dark Fire Sword. And second, Abyss Arrival Darkness now grants an additional self buff, providing plus 15% auto-attack damage. This on top of its existing benefits of plus 15% dark damage and plus 30% ignore physical death. Take note that this passive takes effect even if the Rune Master is not within the range of Abyss Arrival, as it only requires the mere existence of Abyss Arrival. These two buffs are aimed to improve the versatility of AA Rune Masters against targets with high Holy Element reduction. Up next, we have several buffs for the Monk class. First, Critical Explosion can no longer be dispelled. In addition, the Bomb Explosion rune has a new third-line effect that grants Endure status when under Critical Explosion status. The duration probability for this line is 100% and all existing runes will directly activate this effect. These adjustments to Critical Explosion will allow Dragon Fist to replace their Edga Star card with either Moonlight Flower Star card or Swordsman Senya MVP card. Second, Dragon Ball Play with Water now grants an additional effect where each Dragon Ball provides 1% skill damage, further enhancing Dragon Fist damage potential. Third, Curse Circle can now be casted while under Still Body status. And after using Curse Circle, the casting range of Asura Strike and Sky-Breaking Dragon Fist will be increased by 2 meters for 5 seconds. Will this revive the Curse Circle build, which was meta during the early days of 6v6? And for the Still Body Quick Cast Acer node has been changed to reduce Still Body's fixed cast time by 2 seconds instead of the previous 0.2 seconds. Since Still Body originally has a fixed cast time of 2.5 seconds, this adjustment will result to a fixed cast time of 0.5 seconds only. Up next, we have some adjustments to the Ninja class. First, the skill damage ratio of Wind Shuriken Swift Shadow inherited from Wind Dart cast is increased from 130% to 150% at max level. This will further boost the damage potential of the Shurinado build. Second, the Shadow Slash passive has an additional effect which increases your own ignore physical and magic defense by 24%. Thus, when coupled with the effects of Myriad Hyakume Ignore Death and Izayoi Full Moon, ninjas can ignore up to 52% of the enemy's physical death and 67% of the enemy's magic death. And third, the first line effect of the one single Thought Star rune has been modified to be stackable by up to 10 times only. This adjustment is actually a nerf considering that the damage reduction debuff from Flowing Shadow Heart was previously stackable for a limited number of times. This bug was abused by some players when clearing White Star Airship as it can potentially reduce the MVP monster's damage reduction by thousands. However, with this change, the maximum achievable damage reduction is now capped at negative 200%. And lastly, we have a few changes impacting the bow build of rogues. First, the bonus damage based on distance effect of Vulture's Eye now affects Triangle Shot, thereby boosting Triangle Shot's damage by up to 60% when the target is at the maximum attack distance. This adjustment will also indirectly buff the damage of Combo Arrow as it inherits a skill damage ratio of both Double Strafe and Triangle Shot. And second, the Tier 5 effect of Robin Hood's bow has been modified, wherein the chance of triggering Combo Arrow when dealing physical damage is increased from 15% to 30%. Will these buffs be enough to improve the usage rate of Phantom Dancer's Combo Arrow build? So that's it for the class balance adjustments for Hunter, Knight, Monk, Ninja, and Rogue coming in the next update. What do you guys think about these changes? Type in your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, that's it for this video guys. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed watching this guide. If you're new here, I'd love for you to consider subscribing by hitting the subscribe button down below. I'd love to have you back. Thank you for watching and see you in our next episode.